Huge update in the Karmelo Anthony trial. Remember Karmelo Anthony? You know, the guy that, took a young man from us in the prime of his life over an argument. A kid that got exceedingly preferential treatment. Well, his trial starts now. Leave a like on the video right now for Justice is Coming. There will be no plea deals. The trial starts Monday morning, and there's already a lot of weirdness going on around the trial, including people threatening the event, and it's going to be weird. This, until the Charlie Kirk trial, this will be probably the biggest trial in this country since Derek Chauvin, in terms of, inflammatory volatility. There are a lot of people that still think Karmelo acted in self-defense. Well, we've got all sorts of new news for you to get you ready for the trial, what to look out for on Monday, and some new developments. So make sure you leave a like on the video and you subscribe or follow down below so that you get all the updates. Because once the trial starts, I'll probably be doing 1 to 2 updates a day every day as new evidence comes out, as clips from the trial, because the judge has banned cameras, but I just so happen to be close personal friends with someone who's going to be in the courtroom. So I'm going to look at getting them on the show a couple times a week to give downloads after the trial, but they'll be in the courtroom from 8 in the morning till 5. So we'll have to do like special shows later in the day. So that's why you got to subscribe. So you get notified. This Monday, June 1st, a trial for Karmelo Anthony begins in Collin County. Anthony is, of course, charged in taking the life of Austin Metcalf. And I've got a good white pill at the end of this video, too, that you're going to want to stick around for. So April 2nd, here's the timelines. April 2nd, 2025, the incident happened at the Frisco track meet. April 4th, Frisco police report reveals new details. Witnesses said Metcalf told Anthony to leave the tent. When Anthony grabbed his bag, opened it, reached inside, grabbed his weapon, said, "Touch me and see what happens." The police document said that no one thought Anthony even had a weapon. One witness said Metcalf did touch Anthony. Another said Metcalf grabbed Anthony. Anthony then pulled out the knife and took Austin Metcalf's life. To me, by the way, this is going to be key evidence because there's a lot of witnesses. A lot of people saw this happen firsthand, including his brother. Putting your hands on somebody in general is not an excuse to take their life, like just touching them or grabbing them. Karmelo Anthony also admitted the crime. When police told him that he was alleged, he himself said, "It's not alleged, I did it." So there can be no doubt that Karmelo Anthony did this, and there really isn't. It's not like there were other suspects. It's not like there were other suspects involved in the case. Everyone knew it was Karmelo Anthony. That's going to be, that's not up for debate. April 14th, Karmelo Anthony gets released from jail on bond of just $250,000. Remember, I may not care for the content Chud the Builder makes, the guy that goes around and saying the word to get people to quote unquote get mad, but his bail was set at over $1 million. Karmelo Anthony's bail was set at just $250,000. June 11th, Frisco ISD released surveillance video. That was a big nothing burger. You couldn't even really see anything. June 24th, then Karmelo Anthony was indicted on the charge. July 9th, judge set the trial date. This is last year. April 18th this year, the judge restricted media public access to the trial. Well, I have someone on the inside. So that's why you want to stay with this channel. The thing is, why was he carrying that knife in the first place? Oh, bombshell. Oh, I've got another little bombshell about Karmelo Anthony's past that a lot of people missed too. So the judge restrict media public access to the trial. Okay, that gets you caught up to basically right now. That gets you caught up to right now. Now, people are saying the stand your ground law. How could stand your ground law affect it? Let's see here. Let's see if News Nation video works. I don't know, because sometimes with Brave, they don't work. Okay. So you are not allowed, according to stand your ground laws, okay, Quote, "You're not allowed to bring a knife to a fist fight," he said. "If you're about to get in a fist fight with somebody, you can fight them. You do not have to wait for them to hit you, but you cannot pull out a knife and take their life without anything else going on. Prior threats or verbal confrontations alone would not justify the use of deadly force unless the danger were imminent," he added. According to police reports, Metcalf told Anthony that he needed to move from underneath the team's tent at the track meet. Anthony allegedly then grabbed his bag, reached inside, and said, "Touch me and see what happens." So it sounds like Karmelo Anthony issued the first threat. This is a very high school thing to do. Hit me first, hit me first. I remember how many dumb fights I saw in high school where the kids foolishly thought that if they didn't punch the person first, and then anything that happened after that first punch, they would be able to walk away scot-free from. I never saw a fight ever work out that way. Every fight I ever saw, both kids got suspended. It was never like, well, he punched me first, so then I beat him with a fire extinguisher. No, that's not how it works. I know that's how it works in the hood. Police report states that Metcalf then grabbed Anthony and told him to move. Anthony then pulled out the weapon and took his life and ran away like a hero. Now, this will not. So Ward stressed that stand your ground laws do not erase the core requirements of self-defense, including a reasonable belief of imminent death or serious bodily harm. That did not exist. She said, self-defense remains a very narrow legal exception, not a broad permission to use deadly force whenever someone feels afraid. Reasonableness remains the key part of the self-defense law, Ward said. A judge or jury must determine whether a reasonable person in that situation would have believed that deadly force was necessary. They're not going to agree. They're not going to. He's going to be found guilty. My only concern with Karmelo Anthony is if they give him a break. If they say, they give him like a lesser charge, manslaughter, give him like 2 years in prison or something like that. Because Austin Metcalf is gone forever. Karmelo Anthony, even if he gets the maximum, will still be out of prison before he's 40. I think the maximum is 20 years on that. I could be wrong. They're not going to put this kid in prison for life, even though he should be. That's the truth. Now, here's some more interesting information. So we saw the strict media stuff. We talked about that. Now I want to talk about this individual. Apparently, this guy's name is Harley Davidson Harkins. Sounds like he has some cool parents, from Arizona. He is now threatening to be at the trial in an elevated position, essentially saying he's going to be some sort of sniper.
Just my health. But I'm going to tell you what. I'm going to be there. You won't see me. I'll be at an elevation. I'll give you that much of a hint. And I'll be watching. And if I see anybody threatening the community in a stand-your-ground state, endangering lives with reckless driving, I'll make sure that car coasts to a stop.
That's a threat. That's a direct threat. Second of all, he's from Arizona. Third of all, a stand-your-ground state does not mean a third party gets to snipe people. That's not how it works. This guy is putting this on the internet. Now, I know it's giving a lot of people secondhand cringe. This guy's going to get arrested.
Bank on it. You better think again, bitch. You have just threatened the public.
Who did?
Publicly. You just publicly threatened the public.
That's what he did. That's what he did.
With endangerment. I mean, that sounds like a threat to me.
I love how he has this like cartoon avatar filter. Nothing says ultimate Chad dude like using filters on TikToks.
Just my health with the smoke, let alone the reckless driving. That's an unaliving potential.
Oh, and he says unaliving. Real tough guy here.
Yeah. In a stand your ground state. You have publicly made your threat, so I will publicly make my fucking warning.
Whose threat? Who made a threat? For nearly a year, This is from Sarah Fields, who's been doing excellent work. I have been tracking and documenting the online behavior of a man known on TikTok as Lord Gaga. During that time, he has relentlessly and obsessively targeted and harassed the Metcalf family, often on a near daily basis. The other day, he publicly stated he would be attending the trial in a, quote, elevated position. Given the history surrounding the case, including harassment, threats, doxing, swatting connected to those involved, the statement immediately raises red flags. This matter has been reported to the local police. At this point, it's important that law enforcement and court security take every statement like this seriously. Here are both of his accounts. Gaga the Punisher, Lord Gaga Punishes, and Sifu Gaga on Instagram. His name is Harley Davidson Harkins, and he's from Arizona. Now, he's referring to some individual by the name of Kelly Fletcher, who made an inappropriate joke about having, rolling coal in their diesel truck on protesters. That's what he's referring to. He was talking about rolling coal, like when you have a diesel truck and they put like the black smoke cloud. That's what he's responding to. He's going to be a sniper. He's threatening to snipe people at the Karmelo Anthony trial because somebody in a diesel truck said that they're going to roll coal on some liberal protesters. By the way, here's another little bombshell you might have missed. It was brought up in the bond hearing by the prosecution that Karmelo Anthony actually has a prior assault charge, or prior assault / altercation, involving Karmelo on February 4th, 2025. We will have to wait to the trial to find that out. This was 2 months before the incident with Austin Metcalf. The incident was, quote, handled internally by the school and did not involve law enforcement or criminal charges. So he attacked somebody and they didn't report to the police. He didn't get arrested, so then he went on to go take a white kid's life. How many times has that happened? How many times has that happened? Right? We don't throw a criminal in jail. They stay out. Someone dies. We're going to find out all about that at the trial. We're going to find out all about that. And again, I have somebody in the courtroom, and I hope that I'll be able to have them on at least every couple of days. But here's the white pill. Austin Metcalf lost his life at Frisco ISD track meet on April 2nd. He was recognized at Frisco ISD High School's graduation, received a standing ovation. His brother, who held Austin in his arms as he tragically passed away, accepted his diploma in Austin's honor. Let's just hear this and end on a white pill. If you haven't left a like on the video yet, please do. Again, make sure you subscribe or follow so you don't miss any of the trial updates, which will start Monday. So depending on when you're watching this, you might already be behind. Then he walks back around. Goes back up. It's like, makes you tear up a little bit. Makes you tear up a little bit. Justice is coming on Monday, and nobody deserves it more than the Metcalf family. And I'm hoping that this will go the right way.